Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube.com. It is good old MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Florio, Michael Bullock, and Dee Woodson just coming in right now, and we welcome you to a very special show. Normally, we would just talk about SmackDown Live. However, because of the fact that during Selection Sunday, that was during the NCAA tournament, Derek Ferreira made the unprecedented decision to actually hold off the recap of Fastlane and was going to put it on part of my docket for tonight's show. So for the first time ever, you're going to not only get our thoughts about Fastlane, but you're also going to get tonight's SmackDown Live show. And my goodness, we're going to need a minute to breathe after that crazy ending on SmackDown Live tonight. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the evening. I've decided not to do a Mikey's Mindset. Because of that, I'd rather focus on Fastlane and SmackDown Live tonight, and you'll get a Mikey's Mindset 1 week from tonight when we do our next episode. So with that said, we're just going to dive right in. Fastlane from the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio, which is actually not how. Didi, I need to ask you a question. How far is Columbus, Ohio, from your hometown?
Okay, from Alliance, it's about a 3-hour drive.
All right, so not bad, not bad. So with that said, we're just gonna dive right in. Now, we normally don't talk about the pre-show fight, but the pre-show fight was Breezango and Tyler Breeze. I should say, and Ty Dillinger, sorry. And they went up against Sheldon Benjamin, Chad Gable, and Mojo Rawley. The winners of the bout in 7 minutes and 25 seconds. Breezango and Ty Dillinger gets the victory there. We're not going to waste too much time. Let's go right into the first fight of the night, which was Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev. Winner of the bout in 14 minutes and 50 seconds unofficially, Shinsuke Nakamura, the Kinshasa on Rusev. Good start to the event. Nice fight, good battle. I liked it. This is about maybe 2.5 stars. It was what it needed it to be. A nice showcase for Nakamura, letting him be that strong contender going into the fight at WrestleMania. And I gotta give props to Rusev because Rusev really, Rusev was really good in this match. He really pushed Nakamura to the limits, which we all knew. Nakamura basically once that switch got flipped, it was over. But throughout the fight, this was solid to good, and we were kind of. It was kind of like an underlying sleeper fight of the night, but it was a solid battle, a good matchup, and yes, I know the outcome was very predictable, but for what it was worth and for the way that this show started, this was actually a solid way to jump off a pretty good pay-per-view. So 2.5 stars. Anthony Floyo, come on in. It is all yours, my friend. Give me your thoughts on Nakamura and Rusev.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt. I'm going to go above the grain here when it comes to my thoughts on this match. Yes, the outcome was never in question. They had a very good opening match with both guys looking good and Rusev scoring believable near falls. The home stretch was really great, and the crowd being into it also really helped here. I'm going to go as far as to say this for me personally, I got to say this was the second best fight of the night. I'm actually going to give this 3.5 stars. That's how good I thought this match was. I mean, these two delivered, and like I said, the outcome was never in doubt, but both men looked really good. Rusev pushed him to the limit, scored some very believable near falls, and that closing stretch was perfectly done, and that crowd was really into it. So, yeah, I have no complaints whatsoever. So, for me, 3.5 stars and the second best fight of the night. You said sleeper fight of the night, MF? Oh, yeah, it was a lot more than that and then some. If it wasn't for one other match that I thought was just a smidgen better, I would have gone as far as to say this was the fight of the night. But this, for me, was the second best. So, nothing more to say here. Michael Bullock, come on in. Nakamura and Rusev, boy, they over-delivered as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I believe they did as well, and I'll say second best fight of the night as well. 3.5 stars, and a nice tune-up match for for Shinsuke Nakamura before his WWE title encounter at WrestleMania. And Rusev, I thought he looked really good in this match, even in defeat. So yeah, there's really nothing more that needs to be said on it. So 3.5 stars. So there's really nothing more to say. Let's move on to Dee Woodson. So I give it to you.
3.5 stars. Not going to say anything else. Move on.
Very well. And the next fight of the night that we had was Bobby Roode putting the United States title on the line against Randy Orton, the winner of the bout unofficially at 19 minutes and 15 seconds. And new United States heavyweight champion Randy Orton. He's a Grand Slam champion, the 10th man in WWE history to pull that feat off. Anthony Florio. This is probably the shocker of the night. I don't think, even though there was a chance that Orton was going to win the title, I don't think none of us actually thought he was actually going to do it, and he did.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt, you're absolutely right. I mean, Randy Orton winning I did say during our preview show, I wouldn't be surprised if Orton won the title, but he did. And they put on another very good match. Not as good as the other match, but this to me, another one of my fights of the night. I'm going to give this between 2 3/4 to 3 stars. I mean, it was an overall pretty good match. It went a little too long for my taste, and at times it lacked in drama a little bit, but at least the work was clean and it did have some fun moments. It was far from bad, but I was just hoping to see it, kick into another high, another gear, if you will. That it was an abrupt finish there with that RKO out of nowhere. And yeah, Randy Orton now an official Grand Slam champion. I mean, an accomplishment that of itself. I mean, if you heard, my friends, if you heard a loud yes coming from MF's workplace of the Walmart there, that was MF when he got word of Randy Orton winning the United States Heavyweight Championship. I mean, just amazing. I mean, I'm trying to find the list of well, actually, okay. With the victory over Bobby Roode this past Sunday night, Randy Orton became the 18th and most recent Grand Slam champion. So 18 wrestlers as of right now, 18 wrestlers as of today have been recognized as WWE Grand Slam champions. And you got to listen to this list, my friends. I mean, this is a very impressive list, to say the very least. Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kane, Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, Rob Van Dam, Booker T, Jeff Hardy, JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, Christian, The Big Show, the Rated R Superstar Edge, The Miz, Daniel Bryan, Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and now you can add the Viper to that list. Is that a list, or is that a list, my friends? That is a list. I'll tell you that right now. So with that win, Randy Orton joins that elite group. And as of now, you've got Shawn Michaels, who's a Hall of Famer. You got Kurt Angle as a Hall of Famer. Eddie Guerrero as a Hall of Famer. Booker T as a Hall of Famer. That's 4 Hall of Famers alone right there. Then you throw an Edge, that makes 5 Hall of Famers. And I believe that's it. So of the 18, 5 of them are Hall of Famers. And most of them are still active. So, yeah, we don't have enough time to run down what they accomplished. But Randy Orton with the WWE Championship, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, Intercontinental, and now the United States Heavyweight Championship. So he's done it all. He's won every title there is to win, And, I don't know what else there is to say except congratulations, Randy Orton, the new United States Heavyweight Champion. I know that made Michael Fletcher a very happy man because we all know how much he loves Randy Orton. I'm sure he was pumping a fist or two or going crazy, probably bouncing around like Tigger when he heard the news. So I can't wait to hear what he has to say about this because I know he's had enough time to see it. So that's really all I can say on that. It was a very good match, but it was a little iffy at times. But other than that, it was still another very good match. So 2 3/4 to 3 stars is my rating for this. And congratulations, Randy Orton, 18th Grand Slam champion in WWE history. Michael Bullock, I mean, you heard the list of names I just reeled off. Is that list not impressive or what?
Yeah, you definitely got to talk about. That's an impressive list that now Randy Orton has joined. Now that he is the new United States Heavyweight Champion, so I'll give it an even 3 stars. I mean, it was a fine match for what it was. I mean, I do agree. I mean, it did lack in that Shakespearean drama, but even with that, I still thought it was definitely good for what it was and in the time it did have. So, yeah, so congratulations to Randy Orton, the new United States champion, the 18th Grand Slam champion in WWE history. I mean, you talk about a list that Randy Orton has joined to hold that coveted United States Heavyweight Championship belt. I mean, I could name it all, but we'd be here all night if that's the case. But so really got nothing more to say. Didi Woodson, I give it to you. Randy Orton is now the 18th Grand Slam champion.
Yep, that he is. He's accomplished what very few are able to actually accomplish, and that's to hold all the titles. And it's an honor to get to see him do that. So for the match, I'm going to give it probably about 3 stars. It was a good match. Sorry, I'm not talking a lot. I'm kind of half asleep here. So, Fletch, I toss it over your way or to Florio.
No, it's to me. It's to me, love. Randy Orton is the 89th United States Heavyweight Champion in the history of professional wrestling. Now, this is actually also accounting and attributing to the days where you had not only the NWA United States Heavyweight Champion, that was actually Harley Race, that started in 1975. January 1st, 1975, Harley Race was the first recognized United States Heavyweight Champion in the history of the company. And then, of course, the first considered WCW United States Heavyweight Champion. You got to go all the way back to Lex Luger when he won the title the 4th time, but Sting in August 25th, 1991, in a house show in Atlanta, Georgia, he was considered the first ever WCW United States Heavyweight Champion. And then, of course, when basically, and then as a matter of fact, I want to say that the first ever WWE United States Heavyweight Champion was, well, okay, I guess you could say subsequently it was Chris Kanyon, because that was at the time that Booker T retired the belt, gave it to Kanyon, awarded it to him, giving him the belt. Therefore, WWE actually recognized Chris Kanyon as the first ever WWE United States champion, and that was that. So we've had so many great champions in our history, and Randy Orton has now joined that elite group, the 89th U.S. champion in WWE history. Congratulations, Randy Orton. All right. Next up on the card, what we had was was a tag team fight. Carmella and Natalia versus Becky Lynch and Naomi. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout was Carmella and Natalia. They got the victory. 8 minutes 55 seconds was the official time of the fall, and well, Michael Bullock, I give it to you. It's yours.
What was the time, Fletch?
8 minutes 55 seconds.
All right, I'll give it about maybe 1.5 to 2 stars as my rating on the match here. So yeah, I mean a nice win for the heel team. I mean, even though I'm pretty sure Carmella's not too happy about. I mean, not Carmella. I meant Dee Woodson's not happy that Carmella was the one who got the pinfall. I mean, who got the win for the team. So yeah, so I really have nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
I'm giving it 2 stars. No, I'm not real crazy that Carmella won, but the heel team needed the win, so not much more I'm going to have to say about it. Fletch, take it.
Absolutely, I totally agree with what you just said there. We were. What was the thing that we were saying the whole time? What was the thing that we were begging and pleading and almost saying? Carmella needs a win. Carmella needs a win. She needs momentum if she's gonna cash in the Money in the Bank down the line. Well, guess what? They did it. WWE listened to us for once, pulled the trigger, and gave Carmella the victory. Well done, WWE. Thank you. Smart booking on this night more than anything else. 2 stars, I'll give it for the rating. This was an okay fight. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it is all yours, my friend.
2 stars. Started off hot, and then it faded, and then the closing stretch was rather messy. It was okay at best. If I'm going to be quite honest, this to me was the worst fight of the night. So nothing more to say here. Let's just move on, MF.
All right. And with that said, we're going to move on to what was undoubtedly one of the most highly anticipated fights of the evening for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. It was the Usos putting the titles on the line against the New Day. It was Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods this time around. The fight ends in a no contest. It gets thrown out because the Bludgeon Brothers showed up, and oh my God, devastation was the key word of the night. They destroyed. Kofi Kingston got wrecked. Xavier Woods gets wrecked. Jey Uso got wrecked. The only 2 that actually kind of survived the epic beatdown was Jimmy Uso and Biggie Langston, and we'll get into that later in the evening because that led to a fight on SmackDown Live. But I'm going to leave the door open for you guys. Do you want to talk about this fight? Because I feel like this is an automatic NA. We don't need to cover this if you don't want it.
Move on, Fletch.
Move on? I heard NA. I guess we're moving. All right. So next thing we had SmackDown Women's title on the line. Charlotte Flair versus Ruby Riott, 1-on-1. The winner of the bout and still the SmackDown Women's champion, Charlotte Flair, figure 8.
I think MF might be having an issue here. So I don't hear.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna step in here. We were getting ready to talk about the SmackDown Women's Championship match, which was Charlotte Flair defending against Ruby Riott. Winner of the match in 13 minutes and 46 seconds. It was Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair retains the SmackDown Women's Championship with the figure 8. And while we to get in order here, I'll take it for a spin here because it would have gone to me after him. He would have started it, but since he's got the issues, I'll take it here. This was another 2 3/4 to 3-star match. I mean, this was a pretty good match with Ruby Riott looking really good in her first big singles pay-per-view bout. Yes, another match where the finish was never in doubt. WWE decided to overbook the finishing portion with the ladies at ringside, which only killed the momentum and took away from the match that they were having, and it didn't add a damn thing to it. And that really honestly did the match no favors and was done just to be done. But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you thought that was it. Well, no. Wait. Oh, okay, we got an MF back.
I apologize, guys. I'm sorry about that. I don't know. My connection just kicked me right off out of nowhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the women's fight. I was in the middle of saying that Asuka has shown up, and she points at the WrestleMania sign and looks at Charlotte Flair. Charlotte starts to get really fired up. You could even hear her do a primal scream at Asuka. That's right, guys. Asuka has made her choice. Initially, we were all thinking, it's going to be Alexa. It's going to be Alexa. She's going after the Raw title. No, she's not. At WrestleMania 34 for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair puts the title on the line against Asuka. It is Empress versus Queen at the granddaddy of them all. Oh my goodness, what a match this is going to be. Didi Woodson, give me a quick thought about the women's title fight, and then give me your thoughts on Asuka versus Charlotte at Mania.
It was a fairly good match. Riot did come out with, a really good showing. She still has a lot of work she needs to do, but she did have like I said, a very good showing. I'm going to give it about 2.5 stars for the match. We all pretty much knew Charlotte was going to win, but there was just so many near falls on this match, and even with all the interference, the referee still kicked out everybody from ringside, so it still ended up in the end being 1-on-1, and Charlotte still pulled it off. So as for Asuka versus Charlotte for WrestleMania, I was kind of hoping that Asuka would pick Charlotte. I mean, you have Ric Flair's old saying, to beat the man, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And basically that's what I think Asuka is doing here by picking Charlotte. She wants to fight the person she thinks is the better champion. And in this case, she thinks that the better champion is Charlotte Flair, and I tend to want to agree with her. I think Charlotte's the better champion out of the two. Bliss, yeah, she can wrestle when she doesn't have her little helpers helping her out. Charlotte, now that she's got past that phase in her career, she's actually shown that she is a worthy champion. She can handle herself in the ring, and she pretty much proved that she could take out the whole Riot Squad by winning that match. So not much more I had to say about it. Toss it back.
And I think this was a solid, great match. This was an incredible women's title fight, and I got nothing bad to say about it whatsoever. This was what we expected. I'm going to openly admit this, and I might get a little side-eye from Anthony Floyo, but I thought this was Ruby Riot's best performance, at least as a call-up of the WWE. She never really had that opportunity and everything else. Now she got to prove herself against a worthy match and a great battle. And for me, I got nothing bad to say about this. This was definitely one of the top fights of the evening. Maybe number 3 fight of the night, I'll go and say. But this was solid to good, great matchup all the way to the end. And I'm happy that Charlotte wins, and then just to get Asuka from Monday Night Raw to come to our show, to SmackDown Live, I could not believe I saw Asuka. I think I was more jumping over this than I was about the Randy Orton thing, because yes, I'm pumped that Orton won the title, but to think that we got the Empress of Tomorrow, and now we got two main event quality fights at WrestleMania on our hands. Oh my God, what a matchup this is going to be. For me, SmackDown Live has gone better. Like, our stock is rising beyond belief. And then you really want to know how good the stock is rising for SmackDown Live? Wait until what we got to say about the main event. Then you're really going to go nuts. This was amazing. Without a doubt, one of the better women's title fights we've had in a long time on SmackDown Live, at least in my eyes, yes. Nothing more to say. This is at least 2.5 to 3. 2.5 to 3 stars. Charlotte wins. Asuka comes out. Charlotte and Asuka at WrestleMania. Anthony, go.
Well, I already gave the thought on the match because of your little technical snafu, but I'll reiterate. 2 3/4 to 3 stars was my rating for that MF. I mean, and you're absolutely right. Ruby Riott delivered. I mean, she over-delivered as far as I'm concerned. I mean, she looked really good in her first big singles pay-per-view bout. Another match where the finish was never in doubt. But the only nitpick I had was you had Becky and Naomi getting involved along with the Riott Squad. That bothered me a little bit. And that took away from the match, honestly. If it wasn't for that, I probably would have given it a higher rating. But that little snafu there at the end did the match no favors. It was just done to be done. And as far as Asuka and Charlotte goes, I mean, Asuka, no, why'd you leave us? Why'd you have to leave Raw? Why you got to go to SmackDown Live? Obviously, she probably didn't want to play second fiddle to Ronda Rousey. I mean, I can understand that because obviously they're going to build the women's division around Ronda Rousey once WrestleMania is done, because you got to believe Ronda's going to be the new face of the Raw women's division, and Asuka was probably like, I'm not sticking around for this, so I'm going to take my ball and go to SmackDown Live. And she wanted to go to the land of opportunity, and she gets an opportunity, all right, the biggest opportunity of her career. And let's be realistic, this is going to be the biggest match for Asuka. No question about this. The grandest stage of them all, against the Queen, first time ever, SmackDown Women's Championship on the line. Whoa, Nelly. I mean, SmackDown now has not one but 2 dream matches on their side for WrestleMania. Charlotte Flair and Asuka. We'll talk about the other one in a little bit. We don't want to give too much of that away. But man alive, Charlotte and Asuka. I said it once, I'll say it again. We talked about this match possibly becoming official. Now that it is, I'm going to go on the record. And MF, I want you to put me on the record for this. Charlotte and Asuka at WrestleMania, in my opinion, will go down as the greatest women's match in WrestleMania history. It will overpass Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky's triple threat from 32, which as of right now, we consider the greatest women's match in WrestleMania history. Of course, we can't forget about Trish and Mickey with the great match they had at 22. And of course, the other great women's match, which was the inaugural women's match at WrestleMania 1 when Leilani Kai and Wendy Richter battled for the then WWF Ladies Championship. So this match with Charlotte and Asuka, it has potential to be 5 stars. I don't know if it will be, but I'm setting the bar at between 4 to 4.5 because we know the body of work of these 2 girls, and they're going to throw it down. And I believe in my heart of hearts, like I said, regardless of who wins, whether Asuka wins the title, which is the most likely scenario as of right now, my projection is Asuka's going to win the belt. But there's another part of me that thinks maybe Charlotte Flair could be the one to end the streak. We'll find that out soon enough. But regardless of who wins, new champion, whether Asuka wins the title or Charlotte does the unthinkable and actually successfully defends it, it will go down as the greatest women's match in WrestleMania history. Period. And the statement and the quotation. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, 2.5 to 3 stars on the match. I mean, I thought this was really good for what it was, and I agree. I think this is Ruby Riot's best match since she joined the main roster. I mean, yeah, I'm glad the referee basically kicked out both parties just to make it a one-on-one affair, and yeah, it was really good. And then for Asuka to come out and say that she's going to challenge Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's title at WrestleMania, I was like, oh my goodness, this has the chance to become something really special. And I agree. I think this could surpass that triple threat match for the women's title at from WrestleMania 32 with Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky Lynch. So, I mean, this. I mean, part of me is saying that Asuka is going to take the SmackDown Women's title, but another part of me says that Charlotte could be the one to end the streak. I really don't know, but anyway, no matter who wins, this is going to go down as definitely one of the greatest women's matches in WrestleMania history. Let's just move on, Fletch.
The main event, the six-pack challenge for the WWE Championship. AJ Styles puts the title on the line against Kevin Owens, John Cena, Dolph Ziggler, Baron Corbin, and Sami Zayn. When it's all said and done, the winner of the bout in 21 minutes and 55 seconds, and still the WWE Champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles. He now cements his spot in the main event of WrestleMania. He will get to fight Shinsuke Nakamura, meaning the dream fight is safe. It's protected. Hallelujah for that. Oh my goodness, what a match this was. 4.5 to damn near 5 stars. I think a lot of people are probably going to say 4.5. I don't think we're going to get the full 5-star rating, but this match was insane. This was one of the best six-pack challenges I've ever seen. Excitement from beginning to end. Yes, Shane McMahon stuck his nose where it didn't belong. That's kind of a little bit of an indemnity. That's why you're not getting the full 5-star rating. I'll give it the 4.5 there because Shane, in all attempted purposes, he screwed Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn both out of the title. Sami had a chance to win the title, and Shane pulled the referee out of the ring, basically preventing Sami to win the title. It kind of was a little bit of a I kind of feel like that's a bitter taste in the mouth, a little bit. But it helps AJ Styles to win, which is great because, like I said, it protects the dream fight. Nakamura versus Styles is now confirmed. It is done. It is going to happen at WrestleMania. I rather prefer that it would have been something more cleaner than anything else for John Cena. He loses the opportunity at winning the title for the 17th time, and now, as you saw last night on Monday Night Raw, he called out The Undertaker. He's challenged him to a fight at WrestleMania. We'll wait and see what happens there. Whatever the case may be, this was as good of an ending that you can get. The main event was awesome. 4.5 stars. The fight of the night and maybe fight of the year. It was that good. Anthony Florio, come on in. Give me your thoughts about the main event.
You convinced me, MF. I was originally going to give it 3 3/4 to 4, but you convinced me. I'm going to give it the 4.5 as well. Even though I think it was more 3 3/4 to 4 myself, but nonetheless, it ended up being a tremendously fun and very good main event. It was all action, chaotic, and they kept the crowd invested the entire time. All 6 men busted their asses, got time to shine, and they all delivered. They did a great job of keeping the parts constantly moving. The Sami and Kevin angle played out well, and there were tons of big moves to play into the match stipulation well, with everyone desperately either going for pinfalls or breaking them up. The only real negative part of the bout, like MF said, was the interaction by Shane McMahon, which took away a bit for me as he continues to be completely unlikable as a character. But overall, though, aside from that little nitpick, a fun and enjoyable main event. And the most important thing that we got out of this, AJ survived, and he moves on to WrestleMania to have the long-awaited rematch from Wrestle Kingdom 10 with Shinsuke Nakamura. Not okay. You heard what I just said about Charlotte and Asuka. That's going to go down as the greatest women's match in history. Michael Bullock, you said one of the greatest? No. You got that all wrong, my friend. I respectfully disagree with you on that. It's going to be the greatest women's match in WrestleMania history. Not one of the greatest. No, the greatest. End of that. Now, as far as this is concerned,
well, the reason why I say that for you, and the reason why I'm saying is because you just don't know how WWE is going to book it. I really hope they book it as the greatest of all time, but you never know with them.
That is true. That is true. You're right. I mean, we've had instances where we've gone into certain matches and we thought it was going to be we thought it was going to be amazing, and then it ended up sucking the life out of us. You're right. So I'll give you that. We'll talk more about Charlotte and Asuka, down the road, because we've got another month's worth of programming here. But as far as what I'm about to say with Nakamura and AJ, you thought Wrestle Kingdom 10 was something? I think this is going to be even better. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If there's one match on the WrestleMania card that deserves to be the main event, it's this match right here. Even though in my gut is telling me that Vinnie Mac's going to want Roman and Lesnar to close the show, which I think would be a travesty. I'm going to be real honest with you. Even though I'm a Raw guy and I would love to see Raw main event WrestleMania, this is where SmackDown Live deserves the spotlight here. Because you've got AJ and Nakamura. That should be the main event alone. No other match deserves to main event WrestleMania than this one right here. You remember last year, we had Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, and I'm still on the record when I say it was the worst WWE title match ever. Those creepy visual effects in the ring only made it that much worse. The crowd was dead for it. I was dead for it. I could have gone on the record and called that thing an absolute dud if I wanted to. And the bad taste in my mouth that's kind of still lingers from that. And I know MF ripped me a new one on that one, but I don't care. I'm the man who tells it like it is, and that is what it is. Fast forward to now. AJ and Nakamura, that thing's going to be far, far better than what Orton and Wyatt did last year. It's going to get that bad taste out of our mouth immediately. This will go down, in my opinion, as not only the greatest WWE Championship match in WrestleMania history, but this right now, if they book this right, I'll play in the bullet here. If they play this right, they book this right, this match at WrestleMania 34 could give the Undertaker Triple H end of an era Hell in a Cell match a run for its money as possibly greatest match ever in WrestleMania history. End of an era holds it for now. Taker HBK from 25 right behind. And then, you also have Savage and Steamboat. You also have Taker HBK 2, Career versus Streak, which Michael Bullock watched back today. As he told me during our abbreviated SmackDown chat. We'll get more into that later. But
on a Saturday.
I talked about all those incredible matches in WrestleMania history. And I'm going to give you one more. And I'm going to be honest with you. And MF, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, but then again, at Bullock DD, I don't know. But this has the feel to me. I don't know why, but I'm getting feelings of the Ultimate Challenge here. I mean, you've got AJ Styles as the Hulk Hogan, and you've got Shinsuke Nakamura as the Ultimate Warrior. Now, I know this is just the WWE Championship. There's no other title involved. It's all about the WWE Championship. But you got the two most over guys on SmackDown Live, and their bodies of work speak for itself. They're both mega baby faces. I'm hoping.
I was actually thinking.
Yes.
I was actually thinking more like WrestleMania 12, the Iron Man match between Bret the Hitman Hart and Shawn Michaels.
Certainly. Yeah, you can make an argument for that with AJ as Bret Hart and Shinsuke Nakamura as Shawn Michaels. Absolutely right. I mean, you could definitely make an argument for that as well, especially if they make it an Iron Man match. But I don't think they're going to do that. If they did that, oh, forget it. That will do it. That will make it the greatest match in WrestleMania history. It's going to make End of an Era look like an absolute dud. That's all I can say on that. If they do that, but I don't think they will. It's probably going to be a straight up one-on-one match. And regardless of what happens, even though my projection is Shinsuke Nakamura is going to win the title, that's how I feel. It will not only be the greatest WWE Championship match in WrestleMania history, but if it all goes well, I'm praying to God it does, it could go down as the greatest match in WrestleMania history. Anybody want to follow that? Michael Bullock, how do you follow that statement I just made?
I don't think I can even follow that after that. I mean, my goodness. But this was definitely the fight of the night. 4.5 stars. It was an awesome match, to say the very least. We get the dream match, and I am so looking forward to it. I know you guys know more about the match from when they had at Wrestle Kingdom, but this will be my first opportunity to see these two wrestle, especially since they're now in WWE. And all I can say is WWE, they better book this right and make this the 5-star classic that we are all begging for. Because, I mean, this is something we're all looking forward to, what the WWE universe is looking forward to. And I agree, they booked this right. This could definitely go down as the greatest match in WrestleMania history, far surpassing the End of an Era Hell in a Cell match that they had back in 2012. So yeah, so there's really nothing more to say. 4.5 stars. So I'm just gonna give it to DD Woodson now.
Yeah, I agree. 4.5 stars. Very good match. Good way to end the pay-per-view. Good way to cement the main event, or, well, SmackDown's main event for WrestleMania. So not much more I have to say. Fletch, it's yours.
All right, and we're going to get into the overall review of the show. And I guess because I led off on the main event, Anthony, you get the first shot at the overall review. So what did you think of Fastlane?
Solid show. I thought it was a very good show in my taste. I'm gonna give this about maybe 7.5. Originally, I was leaning more towards 6.75 out of 10, but I think it's more 7 to 7.5. I mean, it had very little buzz going into it. It was far from a bad show, but there were some questionable booking moves. But match-wise, nothing outright bad. But man alive, I mean, this thing over-delivered. I didn't think it was going to be all that good of a show, to be honest. But you know, it ended up delivering much more than I thought. And main event, clear fight of the night. There's no doubt about that. And then, you know, we also had the Nakamura, and, well, I'll just give you a, you know, like a quick little hit list, if you will. The main event, obviously, that strong main event, it featured a predictable outcome, yet some very good in-ring work, fun storytelling along the way, and it sent the crowd home on a high note. The women's championship, I mean, another match that had no doubt with the outcome, but they worked hard, and this was the best SmackDown Women's Championship, and that was the best SmackDown Women's title fight in recent memory. Ruby Riott gained something in defeat, and hopefully it will lead to bigger and better things for her coming out of Mania. The U.S. title match, Bobby Roode and Randy Orton, a nice match that Orton seemed genuinely happy with during his appearance on Talking Smack, but WWE went out of their way to make sure Roode didn't come away looking heelish for his post-match DDT on Orton. But and it was a pleasant surprise that Jinder Mahal did not get involved in the actual match. The tag team titles, even though it was an NA, I mean, watching each team perform the other's signature moves was entertaining while it lasted. And of course, I told you the Bludgeons were going to get involved. Didn't I say there was a possibility they were going to get involved? And they did. So we're looking at a multi-team cluster bleep at Mania. Nakamura and Rusev over-delivered as far as I'm concerned. The only real miss was that women's tag with Naomi and Becky against Natalya and Carmella, and I could even put the 6-man kickoff fight in that miss list too, because that didn't really do wonders for me. But other than that, I mean, over delivered as far as I'm concerned, and hey, SmackDown Live just continuing to get better and better as we go forward, and yeah, you guys you're definitely getting there. I mean, there's still some things that need to be done, but but SmackDown Live's getting there. I'll say that right there. So I think I'll just park it here. So 7.5 out of 10, solid show, and now it's on to Mania. So Michael Bullock, your overall thoughts on Fastlane?
Yeah, I'll give it about 7 to 7.5 as well. I mean, I thought it definitely delivered tonight. I mean, I meant Sunday night, I should say. Yeah, so I mean, Florio pretty much touched on everything. So yeah, so now it's officially on to WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans. So nothing more to say. Didi Whitson, I give it to you.
I'll agree with the rating. Definitely the fight of the night. Well, or show of the. I don't know. I'm half asleep. Definitely a good show for Sunday night. Definitely a good SmackDown pay-per-view, even though this is the last of the brand pay-per-views. So, not much more I have to say about it. I'm fighting to stay awake so we can do the next one. So, Fletch, take it.
7 to 7.5 out of 10. I'm not gonna waste any more time because I'm probably gonna make this a rapid fire, just so just out of respect, Didi Woodson, guys. Keep your comments short and sweet if we can. Let's start it off. SmackDown Live tonight. The road to WrestleMania begins on the show, and it started with a promo by AJ Styles, followed by Shinsuke Nakamura, and I thought it was a solid way to start the show. Of course, Nakamura not great with his comments or him talking. All right, that's fine, whatever. I'm not gonna say anything more than that. But at the end of the day, it was solid for what it was worth. It was good enough for me. AJ definitely was better on the mic than anything else. And Anthony, I'll give it to you quick.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, AJ was much better on the mic than Nakamura was. I mean, we know he's limited in his English, but but Styles had the crowd, and it's clear that we all want to see this match, and that's really all there is to say about it. 3 matches on. You already know how I feel about it, so really nothing more to say. I'll say maybe second best segment of the night. So nothing more to say. Bullock, quickly.
Yeah, this was a good segment here to start off. I mean, Styles looked good on the mic while Nakamura needs some work. So, yeah, so nothing more to say. Didi Woodson, I give it to you.
I agree. Second best segment of the night. Very good segment with both of them, even though, like we said, Nakamura's English isn't quite there, but he at least said enough to where you can understand him. So I toss it back to you, Fletch.
All right, and the first fight of the night that we have was AJ Styles versus Rusev. AJ Styles wins the bout by DQ. Anthony, go.
2.5 to 3 is my rating for the match. I would say, as far as the matches go, this was my default fight of the night because Rusev is continuing to have solid matches, and I think it's only a matter of time before they turn him babyface and they put him hopefully in a position to really take off. I mean, him and Big E Langston both stand out as major babyface single stars once WWE gets to WrestleMania, and then we hit the reset button on both Raw and SmackDown Live. So really nothing more to say here. 2.5 to 3, and I'd probably say by default this was my fight of the night. So, Bullock, your thoughts?
I agree. 2.5 to 3 stars. This was a good match here. So nothing more to say. Didi Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I agree. So just go on.
F.
I think this was a good fight, solid match. Really, no, I don't really want to go too much more into details here. Um, so I thought this was all right. 2.5 stars. Yeah, default fight of the night, Anthony. Or
I
actually,
already
do we
gave my
go into
thoughts.
the next? Okay, so we actually go we move on. And the next thing that we had, well, we had the Hall of Fame inductions announcement, and then we had what was next was we had Biggie Langston and Jey Uso going up against the winners of the bout was the Bludgeon Brothers at 4 minutes and 49 seconds. Mike Bullock, I give it to you.
I'm
Bullock,
sorry. I'm right here. Yeah, I'm sorry.
all right.
Yeah, to me, I'm just gonna give this about 1 star for the effort. So nothing more to say. I mean, I could give this. You know what? I could give this a dud, but you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna call it a dud. So nothing more to say. Didi, it's yours.
Well, for one, I'm going to correct Fletch. It was Jimmy, not Jay, that was out there. And yeah, it was a dud.
I'm dud. Mike Florio.
I honestly didn't think it was all that bad, because there was some elements of hard hitting action in this bout, really was, and I like the bludgeon style. I mean, that's all there is to say on that. And there's going to be something going down at Mania, some sort of maybe a triple threat or maybe a multi-team match with the other tag teams. So I don't think this was a dud at all. I mean, if you guys want to call it a dud, fine, but I'm honestly going to give this between 1.5 and 2. That's all I can say on it. I didn't think it was that bad at all. So mainly because of that hard hitting be a man style fight. So nothing more to say. Let's move on.
All right, the next thing we had, guys, was Charlotte Flair as she cut a promo interrupted by by Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow, as they talked about their upcoming match heading to WrestleMania. And Didi Wilson, just give me a quick thought about it.
Is it mine?
It's yours.
Okay. Yeah, it was a good segment. Charlotte, in kind of introducing Asuka to SmackDown after Asuka come out Sunday. Nice little back and forth here, and of course, Asuka pretty much said what I said at the from the pay-per-view review. She wants to beat who she thinks is the better champion. So, to be the man, you got to beat the man, or in this case, the woman or the champion, however you want to phrase it. So, very good segment. Very, pretty strong. So, not much more I had to say about it. Fletch, is yours.
Solid segment, no doubt about it. It definitely got me interested going into WrestleMania. I loved everything about this storyline. This is solid enough, strong enough. I'm ready to go. You could not have done it anything better than that. I love the start of it. So yeah, Anthony, go.
I'm going to make a quick addendum here. I would say maybe Styles and Nakamura, third best segment of the night. I think this was the second best segment of the night for me. I mean, Charlotte did the bulk of the talking as it was expected, but Asuka wasn't bad there. I mean, she said thank you with an unusual amount of volume and intensity, but man alive, I mean, they didn't give too much away, but they acknowledged it. What they did was perfect. Perfect way to start. We have plenty of time to really kick it into high, but But for the first face to face, well done. And like I said, going into Mania, this I still feel it will be the greatest women's match in WrestleMania history. I'm hoping they deliver. I'm confident they will. So that's all I can say there. So second best segment of the night for me. So Bullock, how'd you feel about it?
Yeah, I thought it was a good segment. Great interaction between both Asuka and Charlotte. I'm definitely looking forward to this match. So let's just move on.
Next fight of the evening was Jinder Mahal versus Bobby Roode. Jinder Mahal wins the match at 8 minutes and 49 seconds. And okay, I'm gonna say it. This was all right for what it was worth. I really didn't care too much about this. I mean, it was solid enough. Yes, Jinder gets a big win because Bobby Roode loses clean in this fight, which only means one thing and one thing only. It opens the door for possibly a world title match going in. We'll wait and see what happens there. At the end of the day, it's just what are we going to expect? Is it a triple threat coming possibly at WrestleMania? It looks like it to me, but we'll wait and see what happens. I'll give this about 2 stars for the effort. Anthony, go.
2 to 2.5 for me. Second best fight of the night. It was an okay match, solid match. Didn't really blow me away. I thought their final match in the U.S. title tournament was far better, but this was just okay at best. This was a TV quality fight, anywho. So, I agree, MF. I think Jinder will be added to the U.S. title picture. Remember, Bobby Roode invoked his rematch clause. He says, "I want you Orton at WrestleMania for the U.S. title." But with Jinder winning this match tonight, who's to say that Jinder won't be added to this? So nothing more to say here. So 2 to 2.5 for me. So Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it about 2 stars for the match. I mean, it was good for what it was. Really wasn't that too much into it, so nothing more to say. I'm just gonna give it to Dee Woodson.
Yeah, I agree. Not much more to say about it. So let's move on.
All right, and the next thing that we had, that is, well, this one I'll probably say this is probably gonna be a throwaway, guys. So all it was Carmella versus Naomi, one-on-one match. Carmella wins it at 4 minutes and 50 seconds. I'm guessing you guys want to cut that out. Cut out.
Yes.
All right. So
Yep.
we'll go right into the main event segment, which was Shane McMahon was gonna make a match, and it had to do with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Well, we didn't get it because basically Owens and Zayn basically destroyed Shane McMahon in one of the most emphatic beatdowns I've ever seen in wrestling. It was a massacre. That's all I'm going to say about it. It was unbelievable. Holy cow is all I can say about it. Who leads off here? Michael Bullock?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it the segment of the night here. I mean, obviously, Shane McMahon decided to make Kevin Owens against Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, and then basically it was just a beatdown, a massacre when it comes to what they did to Shane McMahon. I mean, goodness gracious! I mean, I was even cringing when with the beatdown, not just with the chair around Shane McMahon's neck and then putting it right on the post, but what they did in the back when they powerbound him right onto some, I don't know what that was, but that was just, oh, it was bad. And to make it even more heelish is when they beat up 2 referees. So, yeah, so to me, there's really nothing more for me to say. Segment of the night, Dee Woodson, I mean, that beatdown was just hard to watch.
It was very hard to watch, and I know it's necessary for them to show their, fact that they're heels and stuff, but I still think it kind of took it a bit too far because, you know, Shane isn't a young spring chicken. He's an old, he's getting older, he's getting up in age, and he doesn't compete in the ring as much as he used to. So having this hard of a beatdown on him, I mean, that really could have damaged ribs or whatever. So yeah, it was definitely segment of the night, but I'm hoping Daniel Bryan actually does something about um, these two and their attack on Shane. So not much more I have to say about it. So Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, I think this was epic. This was as good as you could have done. But I will say this: I don't know what else there is to say. So it is what it is. Done. Great moment. Great segment. Um, Anthony, it's yours.
Segment of the night, no question here. Man, it was a brutal attack and a strong segment to set up the likely triple threat match at WrestleMania. Owens and Zayn were vicious here, and I hope they continue to show this streak heading into WrestleMania. Comedy is their enemy at this point, so yeah. Nothing more to say. Segment of the night. So Shane O'Mac says he's going to be, taking a leave of absence, and I think that angle was done tonight to further that. And he said Daniel Bryan was going to be back next week. It'll be very interesting to hear what the GM has to say about this. So nothing more to say. Let's get into our overall thoughts.
Dee Woodson, I'll let you start off right now.
I'm going to probably give it about a 6 to 6.5. It was a good show. Wasn't as great as last week. They took a few points backwards with a few a few of the things that they pulled tonight, but still, SmackDown is starting to try to go in the positive direction. So not much more I have to say about it. I'll see you guys probably in about 2 weeks. Good night.
All right. I'm gonna go 6.5, close to 7. I thought this was a good show. I thought the ending was really sharp, really to the point. There's really nothing more to say about that. Anthony Floyo, I give it to you.
6.5 to 7, I suppose, is the correct rating for this. I really don't know how to rate it, honestly. Last week was the best show of the year. Step back this week. It was almost like a carbon copy of Monday Night Raw from last night, where we had, I think, more in-ring segments than matches, if I'm going to be honest. Because we had, 3 in-ring segments on this show? The main event segment, the women's segment, and the AJ Nakamura segment. So all 3 of those were very good. All 3 of those delivered in spades, honestly. AJ and Rusev was the fight of the night. And then I'll give you Mahal and Rude after that. The tag team match, even though it was too short for our liking, I still thought it was a man fight. I love the physicality of it. That's why I didn't give it a dud. Unlike you guys, I thought that was 1.5 to 2. But the worst fight of the night was clearly Naomi and Carmella, even though Carmella picked up a big win. So, and Bullock even teased a little scenario for WrestleMania. And Bullock, I hope you didn't forget that little scenario you told me earlier during our abbreviated SmackDown chat tonight. So, yeah, really nothing more to say on this. So 6.5 to 7 is my rating. So Bullock, take it home.
Yeah, I'll give it about 6.5 out of 10 as well. I mean, I thought it was a good show, so there's really nothing more to say. So Fletch, let's just put a wrap on this.
All right, guys, and that is it for the night. I want to say thank you to everybody for staying and getting us through, and we got this done reasonably fast, a little over an hour, so not bad. Good job with you guys. On Friday night, again, is basically our Strictly Sports. Right now, we don't have a docket. I'm guessing it's going to be a lot of NFL news because there was a lot of stuff that went down today, especially in New England, Miami. So many different players got signed today. So we're going to go into that.
Fletch, sorry to interrupt, but there is actually a docket for Strictly Sports.
Oh?
Oh, yep, I saw it.
Yeah,
I saw it. I'll both. Yeah. I'll take it from here because I'm usually.
Are you sure?
Because MF
go Florio, go.
Haven't set it up, so all right. Very simple. We're going to recap the first round of the NCAA tournament. We're going to preview the second round matches, possible live commentary of any bracket buster or close games, and NHL power rankings. So pretty much what we expected. So that's it. So we'll see you all Friday night at 10:30. Strictly Sports. Now take it home, MF.
All right. So you just heard it. We're going to be going into NCAA tournament coverage on Friday night. And then 1 week on Monday night is Ridiculously Raw. Again, Anthony Florio will host that Raw recap. 205 Live, Impact Wrestling. We'll have that all covered. 1 week from tonight, 10:30 Eastern on Braves Fan 95 is another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. SmackDown Live. We'll definitely have a Mikey's Mindset this time around. And until then, we'll see you guys on Friday. So, like the video, leave a comment, share it with all your friends on all social media platforms. Until then, for Anthony Florio, for Didi Woodson, for Mike Bullock, I'm Mike Fletcher. Have a good night, everybody, and so long for now.